The Hard Knock Life tour with Jay-Z and DMX is big. Huge.
Jay-Z and DMX did have a competitive history. It went all the way back to the Bronx, rap battling.
I wasn't concerned with what name was on the tour. I was only concerned with what I came to do on that stage.
I've been through mad different phases, like mazes, to find my way. And now I know that happy days are not far away. If I'm strong enough, I live long enough to see my kids doing something more constructive with the time than big.
How does it feel to connect with so many thousands of people through your music?
It's like I don't touch the ground. I float. That's like the best feeling in the world. The best. The best.
Yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. Yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. Yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling, got to get up. Get back on my feet so I can tear shit up. For real.
That's that real shit.
He would take you through an emotional roller coaster, and he would end his show with a prayer.
I thank you, Lord, for today.
And I will pray for tomorrow. And he would always cry.
I'm so tired. I'm just suffering.
Thugs was crying. It was an emotional connection with the people that I have never witnessed.
You gotta imagine a guy on stage that's supposed to be the big superstar is now humbling himself. It's so real, you can't do nothing but cry.
If you're a person who had any struggle or any pain, you love X because he speaks to it. It hits your heart and you feel it. I remember the backstage, he just broke down and he just cried like a baby. He was asking God, why did you give me this? And here he is on top of the world and he's questioning God, like, why did you give me this? You know I ain't shit.
He knew he had a gift with words, but then he also has the demons inside that he fights, so he calls it the blessing and the curse.
One of the most captivating things about DMX was his ability to connect with the different sides of himself.
He had multiple people inside. He needed to express it.
Are there sides of yourself, parts of you?
Yes.
That,
do different things.
help you protect yourself?
Yes. There's a few things, few people in me that get me through life.
What would you want anyone to know about those people that help you?
I wouldn't want anyone to know anything about those people. I don't talk about them. You already got me talking about them. Nope.
X had multiple personalities. Or you dealing with Earl today, or you dealing with DMX, the artist, or you dealing with the unknown. X, who are you? That's what we want to know.
Earl is the child that could have been before his dad left, and his mom just didn't know how to handle him. X was created to protect Earl, to take on all the trauma of his childhood. He's the angry one. DMX is the entertainer. It's another protector of Earl, but so much nicer.
They're there to get me through life. I don't know if I made them or if God gave them to me. Or maybe circumstances and situations gave them.
As X's music became more popular and he started to perform shows in front of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people, that love he was getting was jarring. You're talking about a man who never got any kind of love from damn near anyone. And then suddenly to have people chasing him down the street. We love you, DMX, we love you, DMX. That really shook him up.
DMX was overwhelmed because DMX asked for a candy bar and got a candy factory. It was so much love.
Everybody just wants an autograph, man.
That pressure of fame, I just can't fathom what that was like.
And you know what? Neither could I. Neither could I. That's why, in many ways, I succumbed to the pressure. I used drugs as a way out. There was a time when I would make sure no one would want to be around me. That was my only time to myself when I was doing drugs.
The summer of '99, we were supposed to go to Baltimore and do their summer jam. X didn't want to go. He was at the hotel. That was probably the first date we missed.
He was getting high, like on a binge, for 3 days and didn't come out. Uncle Ray came and got me and said, I need your help to get your husband out this hotel room. Earl was very paranoid. He had a gun.
That was the time when it was, leave me alone. I'll shoot you.
He was like, they're getting ready to come at us. I said, get ready to come. The gun came out. I smacked his hand down.
Out of nowhere, I hear like this muffled pop. Oh my God, you shot Uncle Ray.
I said, Tashira, just get X and go. I was protecting my nephew.
Uncle Ray never told the cops that that's what happened.
You know, I'll be weak to addiction and all that type of stuff, but like, in terms of just like being a piece of shit, it's not me. It's not me. I wouldn't do things to intentionally hurt people.
X, when he was struggling with his addiction, no matter where he go, no matter what he would do, anybody that knows where he's from know that we would come and look for him to make sure that he was all right and bring him back to wherever it is that we felt that he was gonna be safe. We was always there for him no matter what.
We have a tight family around him, so it wasn't much anything anybody could do. We are all about making this thing work. But X was X. You know, he had his situations, but it didn't get in the way with us making these hit albums.
When we got the call that the album debuted at #1, it was like mind-blowing. When the album went platinum and then the album went double platinum, it was a ride that I don't think any of us could have predicted, but looking back on it, it was magical.
I was very excited because in our industry, female rappers are so far and few.
We had the momentum. We just needed the first lady, and Eve showed up, and she was the one.
Putting it down, Ruff Ryders putting they work. Snatched up the illest pit bull in the skirt, making them hurt. Haters steady dishing up dirt.
To hear people screaming my name, that's the greatest feeling in the world. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted that.
When Eve put her first album out, Let There Be Eve, and it exploded, I wasn't surprised. I mean, everything the Ruff Ryders was doing was working.
Major labels didn't accomplish what we accomplished. You know, where everything we put out would at least platinum. Who can say that?
With the success of the album, we was able to live a little more. Matter of fact, live a lot more.
Yeah. I bought a house upstate New York.
I would just buy cars. I bought Mercedes.
I moved in 80 dogs in that house.
Ferrari. I just had different cars.
When you get money young and you have no idea about it, it's a crazy feeling.
I get a phone call one day, and it's from one of the representatives at ASCAP, and she was like, how does it feel to be rich? I'm like, I'm not rich. What are you talking about? And she's like, come on, don't try to play me. I'm the one that sends you your checks. And I was like, those are real checks? I seen these checks come into the house, but Publisher Clearance House and all these other checks was coming to the house too. When you in the hood, they always telling you won $1 million. Come to find out, I had $700,000 worth of checks in that shoebox. I went to the Benz dealership and I'm like, I want this one right here. And the guy looks at me and says, we all want that one. I give the guy the debit card and he was like, you cannot buy this car with a debit card. I said, I have the money. I want the car. Ruff Ryders was making a lot of money, but DMX give away most of his things. You never seen DMX with a bunch of gold chains. You never seen DMX in Lamborghinis and all those different things.
DMX was constantly giving people money and, you know what I'm saying, sit there and kick it with like a bum. And not just give him money, but give him time and talk.
I just want to be recognized as being a nice. That's all. I don't want all the attention. I don't want all that shit, man. I just want, he's nice.
He would always give back, and not for publicity. He would just do it. Y&D, he's the same.
We got to give jobs back to the people where we grew up at, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. Everybody here willing to work. You know, but they just don't get the opportunity every now and then, so we got to create opportunities.
When DNY started making money, and they gave back to all of their team, like all the guys that was there when it first started, for their devotion and for their loyalty.
He literally used to bring the whole block with us to different events. They would pay for everybody's airplane tickets. The whole plane would be Ruff Ryders. So a lot of people got to see things in the world that we would have never seen before.
I knew that the average person from where I came from would never be able to see outside of where they was from. So we spent millions of dollars taking people different places.
The R&B Albums Artist of the Year is DMX.
We was having fun doing this because we could have been in the penitentiaries doing life in prison.
Ruff Ryders, boy, yourself's going down.
By myself.
Wait for PK, though. I know PK will be here.
The third album we recorded in Florida. After Dark and Hell is Hot, Flesh in My Flesh, going platinum. Everybody's like, oh, he's not gonna do it a third time.
It's a bigger statement than the first and the second one. Because a lot of them probably think he can't do it. But I know the third one, I'm trying to make a big statement. Like, this is not luck. Know what they doing.
We always use the same producers mostly for the project. PK, Dame Grease, Irv Gotti, DJ Shop, Swiss Beats.
We're gonna break records with this album right here. This album is crushing the other albums.
It kind of stayed within the family for a long time. And we called it the formula, so it worked.
You know, as long as you keep that formula, it's a platinum formula.
Let me hear the beat. We'll mix. The lyrics is the easy part. The hard part is getting the right beat, and the next part is putting the right hook on it with the right lyrics. That's the formula.
Yo, yeah, some tea, dog, with lemon. Let's do it. I could be the one serving your food wherever you go to eat at, or that on the corner that you ask, where the weed at? I could be the one driving the school bus that your kid's in, except that I don't like to involve women and children. I got feelings, I just put them aside. But when it's time for me to do my job, I just ride. I don't get much sleep, my soul's tormented.
He just painted what I was hearing in my head with the music. He painted the words exactly how the music went.
Like the way he was playing with the women and children joint, the way you switched.
X is amazing with writing. The right conditions, the right setting, the album done in a month.
Big Wop, what's the deal, son? Everything is good, you know what I'm saying? Like he walked in, I played him a joint. He sat down, wrote 3/16s to it in the hook before I could even lay the fucking track on a reel. Yeah, man, it's going down up in this joint.
I wrote poetry before I wrote lyrics. I always try to include a double meaning. I know it's poetry, because the more you listen to it, the more you get out of it.
Hey yo, what's my name? DMX, and I'll be the best. You see the rest, they looking like they need a rest. One more time, I'ma spit at you some shit that's gonna get at you and be with your mind.
So we're doing What's My Name, and he went in there and did the record, and it wasn't as powerful. It was still hot, but it wasn't as powerful as it needed to be.
One more time, I'ma spit at you some hits that's gonna get at you and be best.
Everyone was like, yo, it's hot, hot. I'm sitting in the chair and I'm like,
You out there running your mouth.
I ain't feeling you. I ain't feeling like you really, like you giving this shit. He got so mad, yeah. He goes in the booth. And that's when you hear, dun, 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 dun. And he's like, you think it's a fucking game? I'm like, he's talking to me because he was angry. And he's jumping, you think it's a fucking game?
Hey yo, what's my name? DMX, and I'll be the best. You see the rest, they looking like they need a rest.
Now he's the energy and everything. And when he came out, I said, nah, this X.
DMX, we got it, come and get it, player, we ready. All you gotta do is say it, baby.
artist to ever have 2 #1 albums, which is incredible, in the same year as new CD. And then there was X's in stores today.
December of '99, DMX's 3rd album, and then there was X came out. He became a rock star.
Platinum right out the door, 3rd time. Everybody's like, wow, incredible.
3 albums in 2 years. I'm thinking you got lots to say.
Yeah, and I haven't even said half of what I have to say.
What made it so huge was that when X came out the first time, it looked like a movement, bikes and dogs and all that. But now X just looked like the leader of the pack.
He brought a lot of attention to the name, Ruff Ryders. So he wanted a piece, a percentage or something.
That was discussed at the beginning of making Ruff Ryders.
What did you discuss with Walt?
Simple. It's like, all right, you got the money, I got the talent and the know-how. Let's put it together. Form a label, and we'll own it together.
X was telling me that prior to any records being made, a promise was made that X can have a percentage of the company, and nobody ever delivered to him.
We never agreed to that with him. We agreed to him as being an artist. You come in on an agreement, and then because you blow up, now you want to take part ownership of the company. That's not a good look to me.
As far as building a label off his back, that's very misleading and false. We had to keep X out of trouble. We spent a lot of money getting him where he was. Money we never recouped.
Usually what happened with success, artists want more ownership, and he wanted to come back to the table. We had a meeting, and we didn't have a problem with him having a percentage, but so much was happening at that time, we never really got a chance to really streamline that business.
That's what happened? Okay. I really don't have time to be dealing with something I know is not going to get dealt with properly. Like, once you know what it is, you know what it is. It's like, all right, cool.
Earl was hurt more than anything because he really looked up to Y&D. And what Earl really wants the most in life at that time was to belong, and Ruff Ryders was like family to him.
I've already given you something that I helped build, I can't get my own.